Hey folks, Jonathan here. Having camera trouble, so I'm hoping this is working. Sometimes the camera is the most aggravating thing, and I can't build one of them. Alright, trying to come up with a design to hold this spring steel. Now first let me say that this is spring steel, but I'm not using it as a spring. I'm just using it because it's hard. And I want something in there that's not going to wear, and you know, to ride on that cam. So that's the reason I'm using this. I've sort of come up with a little design I'm going to try and see how it's going to work out. And I don't draw a lot, but I've done this on paper. And basically, as you can see, one will fit in this side, and then one in the other side. And this is the front side of it. Have a bolt going all the way through, or maybe two bolts. I may end up changing it a little bit because I don't want it to twist or spin. And as you can see, this slot here is this slot, and it don't go all the way back. It only goes back, you know, so far, and that keeps this from going in any farther. And then I can make actually a piece that goes over top of it. When I put this bolt in, it holds them directly in place. Now all I need them to do is be able to move up a little bit, so I can machine that until I can get a little bit of play in it, but I don't need them to move in and out or twist or anything like that. But that's the plan, and I'm going to see if I can come up with something, do a little measuring here so I can get a good idea. But it's going to have to bolt on up high, come out, and then come down, so we can try to get these fairly level. I mean, they don't have to be perfect, but the more level I get them, the better off I'll be. But that's the plan, what I'm going to work on now. And another kind of an aggravating deal, but once it's done, it's done. And I'd rather be starting the thing up right now, but it just ain't there yet. So, alright, let me get at it. Okay folks, I think I've decided what I'm going to do is just run one bolt in it, but I'm going to run it up against the top of the case right here, and that way I don't have to worry about any twist in it. So that'll solve that problem. I don't really have a lot of room for bolts, so that'll take care of that. I'm going to use this 1-inch chunk here that's out as square as can be, but I'm going to use that and start machining on it and machine out what I need. This piece here, of course, has got some holes through it, so it's not big enough, but basically it's going to go in, it'll bolt in, and then it's going to come down, and then have our pieces for our spring steel to hook to. And I think that'll work out, and we'll do it, and if it don't work out, we'll start over. So anyway, we get at it. Okay folks, I think I've got this figured out how I want it. Now I do have, I've got a piece of metal here. I've got to make a plate. Oops, hopefully I don't knock this thing down. I've got to make a plate that goes over top and holds these in. But I just wanted to leave it open like that to show you what it's doing. You see our cam followers are on. This thing's starting back out. And anyway, let me see. Rotation is going to be clockwise from this side, so it don't matter, but you can see how they work. So they should do it. We should be able to work with that. And somebody had said something about valve timing on this. You know, or how I was going to time it, or I know, you know, a lot of people, that's the thing that scares them, is the timing. But timing is really, really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to roll it up. Now it's not going to be on top dead center. It's going to be 180 degrees out on our cam, so it's going to be 360 degrees out on our crankshaft. But we're going to have it straight up. And basically what we do is we set it up to where the exhaust valve is just closing and the intake valve is just opening. And when I say just closing and just opening, it's on that rocking point to where if it moves this way, you know, the intake goes, if it moves the other, you know, the other way, the exhaust starts going. Okay, and that's going to be a happy medium, you know, right in the center. And then what you do is you take your engine and you do one rotation back to top dead center, and there's your TDC. That is top dead center. Now I haven't timed it yet, so don't get me wrong, it's not right, but and then you basically would back it up, you know, 10 degrees, whatever you want to back it up, and which would be counterclockwise, and that's where you set your magneto for firing, and that's going to fire just before top dead center. And it's as simple as that. I mean, valve timing on these are just no problem. Now I haven't keyed the sprocket yet. I haven't broached the sprocket yet for a key for the keep it from turning on the crank. It's tight on there, but I mean it's not done yet, so there's no use timing it. But that's how you time it. But I think this is going to work out fine. Get some light in there, maybe you can see. Our clearance is pretty close. I made that so it would come out and up against the top of the case. That way there's no way it can turn or twist, and that made it where I could get by with just one bolt in it. Now the bolt actually goes through our steel plate we have back there, which is right here, and into the aluminum. So it's actually helping hold everything together. And I still haven't done any down here. I'm probably just going to do two side, and then my oil return is going to be in the center, drilled at an angle back into the block. So I think it's going to work out good. And I was going to put an oil in the center, but we're going to do one on each side up here to direct oil from our inside of our engine, our splasher, into it. So I think that'll work out fine. But now on these cam followers, they're spring steel, they're hardened steel, so I don't have to worry about them wearing. And I didn't want to weld to the ends of them. I wanted to try to just leave them how they were. And so I don't have to worry about them coming out. They won't pull out of there. The only way you'll get them out is if you raise them up really high. Well, they still don't want to pull out because they're hitting the case. But anyway, but they'll sit right in there where they need to be. It'll be no problem. Once we get our piece made and put on, we won't have to worry about them moving anywhere, our plate. So like I said, the reason I haven't made the plate, I just wanted to show everybody how it was going to work and how I decided to design it. And our guides will go through, our push rods will come, or our lifters will come down, and I think I've got something here. Okay, I think I've got two of these, and I'm not sure what they are. And I think it's actually hardened, sort of rounded on the end, and I think that would make a good lifter to come down against that, bring it through a lifter bore there, and then bring it right down on top of it. And I still want to stay, like I said, in the center of the the cam. So we'll get a measurement from center to center, and then we'll do it up here, and we'll get it all where we want it. But I think that'll work out really good. We hope, anyway. But if these, being rounded a little bit on the bottom is going to actually help us, because, as that goes, it's going to rotate on it. So anyway, I think that'll work, and we're going to keep at it. I think we need to make this plate, and then I got to do our cover. I got to design it, and I got to pick up some more little letters from Walmart, the little wooden glue-ons for. I'm going to put USA on it or something. But all right, I'll show you more as I go. Okay, folks, I was looking around here, and I decided that I'm going to use these push rods, possibly these, and maybe a different set. I don't know, but I think I'll cut the end off and use that as a lifter, and then the push rod we make to go in the engine. See if I can show you. I've got plenty of these push rods. I'm gonna get it set up first. But if this is the push rod, then our next one can, our actual push rod can fit up in there. That'll be the lifter. This will be the push rod, and then it'll run on up, and then I can machine the top of this how I want it, to fit into there, which will just be smaller and rounded. So I think that'll work good, and I'll just make a guide that this will slide down through. But that way I can put a drop of oil in this. As you can see, it fits in there really good. There it is. I can actually put a drop of oil in it to keep it oil. So I think I gotta get this cover made first. That's really what's holding me up. But we'll see what we can do. Hey folks, I just wanted to show you, anybody that don't live in the sand hills where there's a lot of sand, I wanted to show you what the sand does to lawnmower blades. You know, that's supposed to be where it lifts on it, but it just sandblasts and sandblasts and sandblasts until it just cuts through them. And they're no good. So if you think it's bad and you go through a lot of blades, you can imagine what it's like down here. Alright. Okay, here's my piece I made, as you can see. And now this is clearance for the gears. And here's my plate I made to go on the front to cover it. We'll get it together and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay folks, I've got it back together. I don't have the piston in it. What I did is I wrapped a bunch of black tape around the top of that rod. That way when it bounced back and forth it wouldn't hit my cylinder hard. But if you hear any noise, that's what that is. You can hear it clunking a little bit in there. But anyway, there's our setup. I think that'll do just fine. Should work good. So next we're going to get on this cover. I'm going to make a run to Walmart probably late this evening or tonight. I don't like to go during the day. I prefer to go when it's 24 hours. I go about 3 in the morning, but I'm going to run and I'm going to get some little letters, some short ones about maybe half that size or maybe even a quarter that size if they've got them. The wooden ones where I can glue on. And excuse the noise, I got the phase converter and the fan on. It's hotter than it can be. Humidity's terrible. So anyways, you can see we're coming along. And I know not a very long video, but I will get with you on the next one. Appreciate everybody watching. Till next time. Bye.